Okay, we are going live inside the house. We are having some audio issues, so this is take 2. We are coming to you live today. I'm coming to you live to answer questions. We're going over a lot of the stuff that people have been asking on social media. My Instagram's really been just tons of questions lately. YouTube, same thing. And this is piling those up, going through those and making sure those questions are answered. So I hope audio, video, and everything's coming through clear now. If it's not, someone comment. Also, if you have questions during this live video, make sure, actually plug in my mic, make you put those in the comments and I'll get to those in the end. So let's get right into it. What does your morning routine look like? My morning routine starts off the same way every day. I'm early to rise every day and I start planning. The first hour of my day is plan, get out my journal and read and plan and get my day off to a good start. I look at the events I have during the day, I lay those out, I set myself up for success. I look, when am I gonna work out? When am I gonna estimate? When am I going to finish estimates? When am I going to meet new clients? When am I going to follow up with people? When am I going to train and do other things? So I set myself up for success right from the beginning, and that is how every morning starts out. That's how my routine works out, and it's how I'm able to move really, really fast on a lot of projects, because instead of sporadically just running throughout the day, I have goals. I have things I'm shooting for. I have things that I'm locked into doing, and they're already planned into the schedule. So great question. Number 2, how do you make time in your work day for the groups I'm a part of? I'm a part of a lot of groups, just like there's Growcom, and it's all based around getting businesses in our industry and other industries to grow really fast. That's what I host. I'm a part of things like that, like the Lion's Den, Arte, a 10x 360 roundtable. And the way I'm able to still do all the things I do and commit to those two to better myself, to increase my knowledge, is to plan it into my day. That's where that morning ritual comes in. I plan in, I know this day, Wednesday at this time is Lion's Den. Wednesday and this evening time is Arte. These different days or these different events. I've got an impact call, which is accountability coaching every other Thursday. And I hit these marks because I start the day off with that in mind. And those are super, super important for a business owner, those different groups, those things you pay money to, those things you invest in, because the most value comes from your activity in a group that you're a part of and the live events that you paid to get into. Not watching the replays, not catching up on it later, getting in, being in it because you got skin in the game and being involved in the things you pay for. That's what gets you maximum impact. That's how you hit those. If you're a part of something, show up. Half of success is showing up. Probably 90% of success is showing up. So next question, awesome question. Why should I focus on selling landscaping projects when I'm starting out instead of just filling up my mow route? Now I hit on this. There's been this is like in a video and a live last week, and I was really going over this. I was talking about landscaping, and the reason it is so important is because it can blow out a lot of your schedule. It can fill up a lot of your schedule really fast. I was just, I don't know what you want to call them, a troll or whatever, but somebody commented on either a community post or it was a video, and they said, this guy's full of it. You can make a living doing lawn care. Yeah, you can make a fucking living doing anything. You can make a living flipping burgers or whatever that is. I'm not interested in trying to help people make a living. I'm interested in helping people grow their businesses substantially so they can have financial success, so their employees can have success, so they can share it with people in their community, not make a living. Everybody can make a high-paying job that you're chained to and that you're locked in, and you can go do that for somebody. You can go create your own. That's not what this is for. So the reason I said you should add landscaping is because one mow client equates to 1,000 to 2,000 to 3,000 over the course of a year. And a landscape client can easily be 5,000 to 10,000 to 15,000 in one shot. And you can sell that, and it can book out a week, 5 days, 3 days, all at once. And you can sell a bunch of those, and then you don't have to focus on selling mowing so heavily. And since you're not desperate to pick up mowing accounts because you're just starting off, and you really don't need a ton of landscaping equipment to go out and do what I'm talking about. I'm talking about plantings, landscaping, just new foundation plans. Now, instead of focusing on the mowing and dying to get those and underbidding and being cheap, you can focus on the landscaping, and then you can have top dollar mow clients adding up, which now you're super profitable on the mow side and you're driving lots of revenue. Just like our business, we did our third month and we hit right at $50,000 in sales. 2,000 or 3,000 of that was mowing. The rest was landscaping. And what that's allowed us to do is now every mow client we get is super, super profitable. Everybody told me we wouldn't be able to sell mow clients for what we're selling them for, 150, 160, 170 a month just to mow throughout the season in Florida. But since we didn't have to focus on those and we made a lot of noise with landscaping and a lot of revenue with landscaping, that gave me the faith to go out and buy stuff, buy trucks, start investing, wrap this stuff, get working towards being in an office, add my employees, and at the same time, continue growing mowing. But now, when we lose 6 estimates and win one, it's a badass account. That's why you should start doing landscaping. You should start blowing that up instead of just focusing on your lawn care. Now, next question. Do you recommend using lawn contracts? I think contracts I don't like them. I don't think it's worth it. I think contracts are good in big projects, and a lot of times it's still just a signed agreement for us. Yeah, everybody has signed and says, yes, we're going to operate this way on the agreement and the terms of service. It's not a contract. I think contracts don't serve much of a purpose, and nobody's going to lock into them, even if it's just mowing and it's not worth chasing someone down. The account would have to be really big. And I don't like to lock anybody in, because if I wanted to fire you as a client, I want to be able to do that and not have a 30-day term. And I want you to get rid of us too if you want to, because I feel like it's fair. And I feel like it's easy, and I feel like I want a no consequence experience. And my whole goal is you'll never want to get rid of us anyway, so I don't need to lock you into a contract. So no, we don't do contracts. We don't do contracts on anything. It's all agreements unless it's massive, massive, massive stuff. Do you have standard operating procedure? Have standard operating procedures changed your business so far? It has changed my business dramatically. And I'm always coming up with the next standard operating procedure. I emailed myself at 8:30 last night of a new SOP I'm going to write, because it's going to change the way we do job costing. It's going to change the way we track materials. And if I change the way our company acts at scale with multiple different things, it affects the whole. So standard operating procedures have changed the way we operate. They've changed the smoothness of the business. They've changed a lot of issues. Now, with that being said, all of our standard operating procedures, they're all available on our Growcom Facebook group. And some of them are even available in our store as well at jacobgodar.com. And this allows us to run so seamlessly, to grow so seamlessly, to not forget things, to just continue massive growth. Also, a lot of people have been asking right now, how can I create steady cash flow? I know you're in this time of year. A lot of people are having the ups and downs, the ebbs and flows of landscaping drying up, or yards maybe drying up in your area. How do I create that cash flow? And that's a really, really, really good question. Creating great cash flow is a challenge, and it's something you need to do. But I will say, with something like that, I shot an hour video on Growcom, live training, talking about all the ways to pump your cash flow. If you want to figure out cash flow, join Growcom. That recording's there for you forever to refer back to and learn how to grow your cash flow. And I know cash flow is serious, because cash is what allows you to grow your business. Next, most people think growing slow is the way to go, and growing too fast is full of headaches. Why do you recommend growing so fast? I recommend growing fast because I want to pump in a lot of opportunity really, really, really fast. I think growing, so you don't want to grow yourself into oblivion. That's one thing. You need to grow, and you need to be thinking right about it. You need to make sure you're profitable. You need to know numbers. You need to be educated about it. If you're going to take risks, you want to make educated risks. With that being said, if you're doing it in a way where you're taking educated risks and you're growing smart, you're tracking job costing, profitability, you're watching some basic metrics. How much should my teams be putting out a day? What's my labor to top line revenue figures to make sure I'm still probably going to have enough to have to cover my overhead, and I've got enough for materials, and I'm still going to have X gross profit, like these things. And so when you're doing all that, you're able to grow really fast. And I think you got headaches when you grow slow, and you got headaches when you grow fast. And growing fast causes new problems, and new problems and growth is what keeps your business from being stagnant and stagnated and growing in 2 and 5 and 10% a year, and allows you to explode your business, change every year, and stay invigorated about what you're doing, because there's always new things, always new problems, always new opportunities, always new people. Your business looks different every year. So it's not like, oh man, I run the same silly thing that is just annoying to me, and it's just burning me out, or whatever the case may be. This is a really good question I had the other day. Is Growcom for just small, how is it worded? Is Growcom, is that group for solo guys or guys with a couple crews? And so yes and no. It's for people that are smaller because I want them to get huge. But it's also for people with a lot of trucks, 500,000, 700,000, 800,000, a million, 2 million. The whole growth-focused, growth-oriented group is about blowing up your sales, getting bigger, scaling. It's got nothing to do with being small and staying small. It's about growing your company and getting and gaining success. So it doesn't matter where you're at. You're at 200,000, there's going to be pieces that are going to rev you up. If you're at 1 million, there's going to be pieces that are going to take you further. If you're at 2 million, there's going to be things that you can redefine on and continue implementing in your business. So it is for both. Next, how do you keep going when it gets hard or you're feeling burnout? That is answered by not growing slow. When it gets hard and I'm feeling burnout and things are challenging, because we don't grow slow and the business is so much different every single year, I don't get burnt out. There's always something new to focus on. It's not the same old problem. I think that's the biggest problem with most businesses, is you fight the same old problem every year. You have X revenue, it stays almost the same year after year after year. You don't have any new client issues, any new employee issues, other than the same old problem. Your problem is, I have to have this many people to do what I do, and I know that. It's not like, oh man, we're going to this next level and we're taking on these new services and we're doing these new things and it's new problems. So I don't get burnt out because it's always something new. We're always changing. And then if you are finding yourself stagnant in your current area and what you're doing in business, start focusing on other things. Maybe right now I'm pouring into the lawn care maintenance side of the business. Maybe I pour into the landscaping side of the business, or I pour into the stonework side of the business, hardscaping. Keep your focus. Always be focusing on a part that you're excited about. Because you can work on multiple parts of your business. Get this one to a good spot. Now go level this one up. Now jump to this one, level it up, and continuously work your business up. It's going to allow you to not get burnt out. Next question. Somebody asked how to price and quote subdivisions. That's a really, really good question. When you get into stuff that's that big, it's not just, hey, it's this little lawn, we measure the square foot, la da da da. I look at overall the turf square footage and I see what my teams can produce against multiple different things. So any big estimate is a bunch of little estimates put together. So I would find other large properties and see what kind of coverage they can do. How high maintenance is the subdivision? Is it super high or is it super low? Does everything need edged every week? Does bushes need trimmed every couple of weeks? What is it? So I would compare it to, I would use the biggest properties I have that have similar things to do there, and I would look at my coverage. And then I would go and look at the coverage of that, how effectively I thought we could do it, how we could spread out, divide and conquer it, and then use those square footage numbers to build out my estimates. Use that to build out how long it would take, because I already know my labor rate, or you should know your labor rate. That's a really, really good thing that we've went over in Growcom that there's a training on, is getting your labor rate down, figuring those things out. That's crucial. So you use those old averages to build out your new averages, and then you apply your labor rate to it. I did all my math. I figured out that was my coverage somewhere else. Now I apply it to this place. It's going to take 100 hours a month or a week or a day or whatever, and now I times that by X labor rate, and that gives me my per cut. Same for any other portion of the estimate, whether that be trimming bushes, landscaping, whatever it is. So that's how I attack larger stuff. I compare it to the biggest stuff we have, and the more big stuff you get, the more you know about how long it takes to do big stuff. Let's see if want to double check this, see if there was any other questions. Even I've been writing an operating manual, helps give a more strict guideline, and it makes everything easier. JAR for sure. That's huge. Got 2 bids, just sending us maps and info Monday, just tips. There's no. Okay, that was David's question. I'm about to wrap this up. If anybody else has got any more questions, this has been great. Answer or ask it now, and I'll get to that too. So all of these things, that's a great question on growing. You're so right. Standard operating procedures and guidelines change the business. They change the way you're operating. They change the things that you do. And that's all about what our group is about. That's all about what Growcom has been about. That goes back to the question of it's for scaling. Where's it at for small crews or big crews? It's for everybody. And those are the things we go over. That's why we have so many standard operating procedures available to everyone in there. So many things available so you can grow your business. So if you watch this today and you got any value out of this, if there was one thing you learned, one thing you liked, I just want to ask you one thing. Share this so you can help someone else learn, get value, grow their business, and better themselves. That's all I'm asking you to do. Have a great weekend.